Implementing the change becomes the major driving factor in the face of transformation. A thought leadership, transparent communication system, and effective employment policies are the nexus for the change. To throw more light on this aspect, I request our first speaker of the afternoon session, Mr. Amit Pandey, Vice President, Ticona Digital Networks Private Limited, to please come up on the stage to share his thoughts. Sir is a chemical engineer from Harcourt Butler Technology Institute and comes with a rich experience of 18 years in automobile and telecom industry. Prior to Ticona, he has worked with organizations like Kansai Nerolac, Honda Cars India, and Bharti Airtel Limited. Currently, he is heading procurement, supply chain, human resource, and administration at Ticona Digital Networks Private Limited and Ticona Infinite Limited. Sir is also actively associated with key universities to influence procurement and supply chain curriculum for the next generation of procurement professionals and enhancing the procurement brand in Indian service industry. We welcome you, sir, to Conexion 13.
I would now like to request Sir to please hand over with the proceedings.
Can everybody hear me? Yes. Thank you. Good afternoon to everyone. Good afternoon, very good. I thought that after the lunch session is a very tough session. I was traveling last night, so I thought this is going to be the first time a speaker is going to sleep over here rather than the audience. Let's hope none of us is going to sleep. Okay, so before we start, this around half an hour of the session, I would just like to ask a very simple question. If you can just go to the next slide. Who is a stranger? Me. I'm a stranger, right? Okay, stranger is somebody whom we don't know, whom we don't trust. Sometimes we see in the local train, but we don't know the name. Sometimes we know the name, but we don't know who's there. In fact, let's see who is a stranger. So there is nothing called a stranger. There is no stranger in this world. It's only the friends we haven't met yet. Agree? Disagree? Agree, right? So what has happened today? I have met so many friends today, and all of you have also met one friend. So let's try to break this gap, and let's try to see how we are going to keep this half an hour journey a little more exciting, a little more learning basis. So it's difficult for me to know all of you as of now. Otherwise, the function is going to take a lot of time over there. So I'm just putting that you just see who am I, who's your new friend. I'm basically from Kanpur, a very, from a very, very, you can say, basic middle class family, lower middle class family. I was a little bit, you can say, good in studies, so somehow galti se engineer ban gaya. Is it okay if I speak in English and Hindi both? Yes. Okay, thank you so much. So a chemical engineer, a paint technologist, BTech from HBDI Kanpur, 1995. Don't look at the, the experience at all. I don't look like that. So you'll get confused. 18 years of learning experience. So people who say I have a big experience of 18 years, 20 years, 25 years, I'm saying 18 years of learning experience. Purely an automotive person. Started with Maruti Suzuki, actually was the part of Kansai Nerolac, but posting was at Maruti Suzuki. Then I spent a long tenure of 11 years with Honda Cars India. Then finally I decided after 13 years working in the automotive to let's explore the other industry. And why not Telecom? That's how I moved to Bharti Airtel Limited. Spent around 1.5 years in Bharti Airtel Limited and then moved to Ticona Digital Networks. If you see what profile I'm handling currently, I'm heading the procurement, supply chain, human resource, and administration in Ticona Digital Networks Limited, as well as Ticona Infinite Limited. Now, one of my HBTI professor in the last March, when in the Holi I was going back to my institute, asked me, how can a paint technology can be heading the HR? This is something which is like, very unusual. Have you heard about it? Have you know somebody who is a chemical engineer, paint technology, should be working in some some paint factory, or will be in the paint industry, or maybe some automotive industry. What he is doing in a telecom company in an HR. So that's how the journey is all about. So that's how, friends, what I want all of us to just go through with this small journey. So how's the journey? My learnings. So I want to, share my learnings with some of the thought process what I have carried from my automotive learnings, and then tried a very difficult task to implement those processes in a telecom company. So the topic, what I wanted to discuss, is a journey without destination. So there is a journey, and it's all about journey. There's nothing called destination. It's only the benchmark. You can say a journey which is having a milestone, and we keep achieving those milestones. The moment we achieve a milestone, we start, striving for more. हिंदी में कहते हैं इच्छाएं असीमित होती हैं, पूर्ति होने पे बढ़ती हैं. पूर्ति मतलब पूरी होने पे बढ़ती हैं. Okay, so before I start the real presentation, I just wanted to start with this quote. It's a very small, mathematical way of presenting practice plus passion plus patience is equal to perfection. So I would request my friend to just play a small video. What does it mean? This is the AV number 1. Sorry, I think the video, the quality of video is not HD. So you'll find, I think you will be able to see what exactly is it. Thank you to Coca-Cola. What I wanted to do, actually, Coca-Cola has done it. Made you all awake. Okay, so this video is small, thought process about how, if we keep doing practice, if we are really passionate and a very, very high level of patience we carry, we can actually go towards the perfection level. So here is the small agenda of the presentation. I'm just going to touch upon a little bit about telecom industry, a little bit about Ticona as a company, an overview. What are the challenges when I came to Ticona from Bharti Airtel, I found that these are the challenges. Just touch upon those challenges. Then the solution, there's a solution called lean model, and then winning a strategy. How I will try to focus more as a part of a human behavior aspect. How to behave in a corporate life. How to win people. What are those, few strategies, how we can, implement those changes which we want to in a corporate life. Then some of the result analysis, and before we'll close, we'll just try to see what are those few motivations factors which are driver to us. So, a telecom industry, an overview, we all know the last decade gone with a CAGR of 60-65% of voice. So telecom has two brothers. One is called voice, second is called data. So elder brother has played his innings. Now it's a time when the younger brother is gearing up. So if I see that how the data, the entire voice market is actually somehow stagnating and there's no, much growth which we can see on this. At the same time, the data is something which is having a lot of exciting, future for all of us who are actually looking forward for a telecom industry. If you see just 4% of the internet penetration in India compared to, the countries like Hong Kong, 77%. So this is called preparing for data growth. If you see data as a percentage of mobile revenue across Asia, Japan is 42%, India is at just 9%. Broadband penetration, just 1%. Now, we all know why it has happened. 1995, 96 was the time when we started to see that there is a mobile phone call. And at the same time, we started typing those www.hotmail.com or usa.net. I don't know if you might have seen that. But somehow the data growth has not happened in India. The reason is very simple. One is wireless, second was wired. In India, still, we are struggling with around 445 million copper, while, say, for example, comparing with China, which is having around 525 million copper. So to deliver a broadband, we required a fiber and a copper to reach home, because there was only two technologies where the broadband can be delivered, DSL or a cable wala. So there was no wireless. Now wireless is coming. What is coming? The wireless is coming, 4G is coming, LTE is coming. So if we see what is a significant market which is available in India, 150 million TV households, 865 million mobile subscribers. If you see the population graphics, this is something which is very unique about India. 50% population less than 24 years. And these are the people who are going to make this young brother play much bigger than the elder brother. This is how we need to provide the broadband to 350 million users in 75 million homes. So this is more about the telecom industry, we all know. Now coming to Ticona and overview, how many of you have heard about this company? Good, most of them have heard. It's a very young company, just 4.5 years, 5 years old company. We started the operation around 4 years back. So what Ticona has done basically, if you see, Ticona is purely a data-focused company. We have built the world largest outdoor Wi-Fi network with around 43,000 base stations in 25 cities, which can deliver a 2 Mbps to 4 Mbps broadband at home. We have created a larger capacity of around 2 million subscribers, where we have around 200,000 plus subscribers. So we are actually at a 10% to 12% of capacity utilization. We have also established an unprecedented and lowest cost structure, around $125 capex per subscriber at the rate of 50% of fill factor. And if you see the kind of the fiber and copper laying charges, all those ROW charges and all, it comes around at the 50%, around $700 for a DSL company. We have also acquired HCL Infinite and started the enterprise business. So currently we are into 4 business lines. One is called home broadband, second is called enterprise business line, enterprise lease line. Third, we are coming up with the hotspot of public hotspot. And fourth is, which is basically the biggest one, is called 4G LTE. So a few data points, very exciting. If somebody asks how much is the user capacity or how much the user is consuming today of these 200,000, very exciting. If you see the first graph, it is exceeding from 8.3 to 15.7, something which is unbelievable. That shows that 15.7 GB per month data is getting consumed by an average subscriber per month. There are around 12% subscribers who consume more than 100 GB. There are around 7% subscribers who consume more than 200 GB in a month. That means they are consuming at 7-8 GB per day. What they do? That is where the thing comes, is that if you see that more than 50% population is less than 24 years. So all those things, second TV concept is gone. People don't watch television on second home now, means second room. YouTube is the 10th most popular TV channel, which is going to be #1 in 2 years. What they do, they just download the movies, they just do the video content. They are completely 100% time on the internet. If you see, this is what the bandwidth cost, our ARPU has increased, and all those stuff. So this is also another exciting thing for India. The 4G auction, what has happened, and the entire companies, there are companies like Reliance Jio Infocom, Bharti Airtel, Aircel, and Ticona, along with Augeir. So we have also participated in the auction, and we have won 5 circles. Gujarat, UP East, UP West, Himachal Pradesh, and Rajasthan. These 5 circles contribute to 29% of Indian population, as well as they contribute to 24% of current telecom revenue in India. These are very, very, you can say, unique, 5 circles. So coming back to some challenges at Ticona. Now, this is something which is not in Ticona. It is purely a traditional mindset of any service sector we can see. A traditional mindset of internal stakeholder, conventional approach by suppliers and partners, multi-city model of goods and manpower, high attrition rate, difficult to retain talent, believe more in outsourcing than in-house, very high level of inventory, 6 to 8 months, procurement, SCM, HR, and admin, support function. So when I moved from automotive, from Honda to Bharti Airtel, first time I came to know that procurement, HR, supply chain, they are cost centers. They are not profit centers. And I was wondering that how we can change this mindset. So multiple challenges, but what is the solution? The solution is something called lean model. We all have seen, I have heard about the lean manufacturing model of Toyota. Okay, so I'll not explain too much about that process. I'll just put upon why lean. So Ticona Digital Networks, we have introduced on 23rd of November 2009, a well-known automotive model of lean manufacturing with just-in-time inventory and elimination of muda. Muda is waste, called Japanese, muda is waste. And implemented all these 4 areas: procurement, supply chain, human resource, and administration. Why? Why lean? So this is how, a very famous story. 1990, when Toyota, Honda, and Nissan went to US. That time, US automotive industry was driven by 3 companies: Ford, General Motors, Chrysler. They were having around 85% of market share, and these people were just in trend. Within 15 years, they changed the entire structure. 87% Honda, Toyota, Nissan. Chrysler got bankrupt, and General Motors has been saved in current recession by the government. Ford was too big, but their profitability has reduced drastically. Why? Because if you see, these are the comparative analysis of the process, the manpower, and how they manage. Inventory of parts, 2 weeks versus 2 hours. That is called just-in-time inventory. So high quality, better production, and just-in-time inventory. So this is a popular concept when we talk and discuss with the people. They say lean manufacturing concept, what Toyota has implemented, is only for production area. It's only for manufacturing. It's only for somebody who actually producing some parts or producing some goods. Is it so? How many of you believe that? Okay, hear it. A popular misconception is that lean only for manufacturing, but this is quite opposite. Lean has application in every business and every process. Lean is not a tactic or a cost reduction program, rather the way an organization thinks. So lean is a way of thinking for an organization. And these are some tools which get implemented when you try to launch the lean. All these are basically the Japanese model, what we all have heard. DST, PDCA, continuous flow, fishbone diagram, 5I, Pokayoke, 5S, Kaizen, Zidoka, standard operations. From Japanese automotive to Indian telecom. Big challenge. Let's see. So what we did in 3 years. If you see, 28 procurement, 57 supply chain, 17 human resource, 15 administration. What they count is 117 innovative projects under this lean model. 117 innovative projects under this lean model. So if you see input, process, output. So I'm not going to explain or to talk more about what we did in terms of the business process re-engineering, what we did about the process enhancement, what we did on the automation, what we did on the material management, what we did on the multiple aspect of the process related. Today I'm talking only about man. So today let's talk about the human behavior. Changing something, how you have interacted with the humans, and what are the challenges, and how you just converted those challenges into opportunities. So this is all the winning strategy. But before we start, trying to see what exactly the human behavior, some of the nice codes, what we implemented, let's see what are the challenges. So here is your friend. Now you know who's your friend, right? The one person who came from an automotive industry, and there are top management, board members, senior members, all stakeholders, other department heads, partners, suppliers, other city members, team members, department team members. So here is the challenge. 20 departments, 3,000 employees, and 700 suppliers and partners. How to convert the way they think about the organization, about the lean. That's a challenge. That's the volume of the challenge. So the first thing what started is, let's try to understand step by step, 4 or 5 thought process, how the manpower behavior has been changed within the organization. There are 1,000 ways not to do anything. Those are called excuses. If I go and ask somebody to do some kind of changes, they will say, my business process is going to be impacted. I'm not open to the changes. So those are called problems. There's only one way to do the things. That is called passion. And that is how we get innovation. We get into an innovative model. So that's a thought. In the season of Olympics, have you ever thought why plane races of 100 meter and hurdle race of 110 meter? It happens, right? In Olympic, plane race is 100 meter, hurdle race is 110 meter. Wow, what a beautiful thought. It's because when we get hurdles, we achieve 10% more. Right? So, the hurdles, the problems, all those things in our day-to-day life, we should know what exactly are the hurdles, how to cross them so that we achieve 10% more. Second thought, a little bit on a lighter side, with no offense to the people. How a Japanese people think. Japanese attitude of work. If one can do it, I can do it. If no one can do it, I must do it. Now, Middle Eastern attitude of work. Wallahi, if one can do it, let him do it. If no one can do it, Ya Habibi, how can I do it? Now, this is called mindset. This is called thought process. So, keep doing. People will start to follow you one day. Not on Twitter, huh? People will start following you one day. Keep doing. And second thought, honesty can be disturbed but can't be destroyed. It's actually, there's a beautiful saying in Hindi. Sachai pareshan ho sakti hai, parantu parajit nahi ho sakti. So if you're honest, if you're truthful, if you know that I'm so honest to my vision, to my dream, to my passion, how I can do the entire change, the way the organization think. So success and failure for excellence, that's what the topic of this entire agenda. How do we go for excellence? How we can do the transformation for excellence. So success is running, but running continuously. That's how one who falls down doesn't lose the race, but the one who doesn't get up. Right? Success represents only 1% of your hard work, which results from 99% that is called failure. Who said that? I'm not saying that. Huh? So a few quotes I have designed, but this is not mine. Okay, this quote is said by Suichiro Honda. So if you want to see how Honda has built, there were around 23 problems this gentleman had before he wanted to build this factory called Honda, this company called Honda. And major problems. The entire factory got vanished. There was a big typhoon. The entire factory got vanished. So he has written this after what are the, so if you like to know more about that what exactly, how we can just keep doing and does not get, fear for the failure. That is how we can achieve success. So be innovative, seek excellence, and success will follow you. Success is a byproduct. 3 idiots, right? Proceed towards excellence. Focus towards excellence. Think about excellence. Success will come automatically. Okay, this is the time. We all know him? Okay, so when I see his picture, what do you think about him? Tiger Woods, and you think a lot of things about him. Okay, so let's see what this man is and what excellence actually means. A small video, the second video.
This is the ball of Tiger Woods. Lanny, what about this?
Vern, this is extremely difficult. This is one of the toughest pitches on the entire place here. He's got to put this well that you can see him looking up the slope. He's almost got to put it up to where you saw Trevor Immelman's ball come from to get it close.
Well, I am reminded of Davis Love here 4 or 5 years ago when he pitched in.
Yeah, he's a little bit further up, I think, than Davis was.
Yes, he is.
Got the same basic kind of shot. He's going to have to get it close, he's going to have to put it up into the slope, though, somewhat. And, of course, it's made a lot tougher by having that second cut right behind the ball. It almost forces him, I think, to put it back and have to hit a low shot. He cannot put it up in the air with the second cut that close behind the ball. You can see him putting it back in his stance right here and picking the club up like he's going to hit right down on it.
And he's picked out a landing spot that is a good 25 feet above the hole.
There's a good chance he doesn't get this inside the Marco's ball.
Well, here it comes. Oh, my goodness. Have you seen anything like that?
Can we have a big round of applause of this gentleman? This is called excellence, right? This is called something which is unbelievable. And that is how this gentleman, even after all those problems, went out, didn't play the goal for 2-3 years. When he came back, within 3 months, he was at #1. Simple. That's how, the power of excellence. You see that if you see the entire video, what is more important is not that shot. What is more important is the time he spent before playing that shot. What he was doing. He was just checking each and every aspect, going to the field, seeing the slope, and he was planning to design the shot in a completely different way so that he can achieve that excellence. Wow. Okay, this is how something about knowledge versus ego, very common in corporate culture. When you start talking to the people, first thing, a person whom you are interacting, the barrier comes as a part of, I'm senior, you are junior. Then how the thought process start mingling along with all those things. So before coming to that particular point, let's understand, ego is inversely proportionate to knowledge. Agree? So what knowledge says? And what ego says? Ego says, I know everything. And knowledge says, you know better than me. So these are some thought process which we have implemented to all the internal stakeholders, giving them, praising them, sir, you know better than me. If you want to do this way, you can do that. So, respect individuals, praise in public, and fire in private. Sorry, it's hire in private. Sorry for that, it's fire in private. Basically, when you want to counsel somebody, you do it in private. Okay, so there's nothing else like seniors and juniors. It's only they have different date of birth. So if I say I'm senior to you and you are junior to me, what does that mean? I got birth early, other than you. And there is no achievement what I did on this. All right. This is something which is very powerful tool we started implementing. What does quality means? Quality means doing something right even when no one is watching you. And silence and smile. This tool we have utilized very successfully. Silence and smile are the most powerful tools. Smile is the way to solve many problems, and silence is the way to avoid many problems. So these are all human aspects. So let's see what exactly happened if we do all these things. What the result says. So I'm not talking again on the process side and all. I'm talking purely that how we try to mold the people the way they think. So result is something which is always a data-driven. And if it is not data-driven, then it's a big problem. If we can't express what we know in the form of numbers, we really don't know how much about it. If we don't know much about it, we can't control it. And if we can't control it, we are actually at the mercy of chance. A lot of people you see in a corporate world, or even normally, 90% people in India, doesn't live in their houses. They don't have their own houses. Now that, basically the vision or the kind of the thought process or the kind of the statement which is more like feeling-based. So data speaks louder than feeling-based conversation. Okay, so I'm coming to closely, end of the presentation, supply chain management, procurement, human resource, and administration. What we did. Let's see the result analysis. Inventory turns. If we see, we all know inventory turns, that how many times we rotate the inventory. The right side top chart is the top companies of the inventory turns. That shows that top companies, recently report published by Gartner, is McDonald's 142, Apple 74, Dell 35, Samsung 17. You see, this is how the transformation has happened. Inventory turns from 4 to 16, 17. And number of days inventory from 87 to 24. This is our number of days of some of the products. CPE, customer premises equipment, after the lean model launched and implemented. Access point, 353 to 45. Radio, 198 to 80. Local material, cable, 84 to 30. 238 to 80. Batteries, 124 to 21. So if you see, multifold level of inventory has been reduced. This is how the stock handling at warehouses. We handle around 34, 33 million of stocks in terms of quantities. And what is the performance level? So we don't monitor in the percentage. We monitor in the 6 sigma level. 4 sigma to 5 sigma, 5 sigma to 6 sigma is the performance. How it is. This is how the BDO audit report, the right side. If you see, the BDO audit report started saying that the first audit they did in 2009, October, the kind of the inventory variance with the Oracle books versus physical was around 5.08 crore, which has reduced to just 5,000. And you can see the graph, the trend analysis. If you see, we have actually done the transaction on the left side of around 1,000 crore rupees material transaction has happened in the warehouse in last years. And what is the system entry we have taken is just 4.74 lakhs. So that means a level which is around 47 ppm. So if we achieve 3.4 ppm, we become 6 sigma. This is how other performance related, what are the sigma level. We monitor all the performance on sigma level rather than the percentage level. Now this is something very interesting, average truck turnaround time. So when normally I start talking to the people of the service industries, that what is your truck turnaround time? What time the truck comes, receive the material, and what time the truck goes? They said, we never monitored. Why do we need to monitor? It comes, deliver the goods, and let him go. So that's how the model need to understand. There are multiple process results which shows that how you have implemented your 5S processes in your warehouses. So if you see, the truck turnaround time of average that inbound is just 18 minutes. A truck comes at the gate, To deliver the entire material, the GRN happens, the PO receipt happens, acknowledgement happens, and truck goes out within 17 to 18 minutes. So if you see before lean supply chain, this is what the 4 to 5 months cash-to-cash cycle, all the people who are from finance accounts background, they can understand that we used to get the payment from my customers after 4 to 5 months before we used to give my payments to suppliers. This is how happened after the lean. We actually converted the entire model in a positive cash-to-cash cycle. That means with 22 days of end-to-end inventory, I get the money from my customer first, then I pay to my supplier. Okay, now the topic of today, human resource. Let's see. This is how the waste removal process is. Recruitment analysis. 1.5 years back, we put up a process called that we will not recruit anybody from the agency. 17 months, Tikona Digital, this is the data of only Tikona Digital, and Tikona Infinite Limited has recruited around 472 employees till the month of August 2013. Not on roll. CEO, general manager, VP, managers, executives. Not a single person from the recruitment agency. And only 3 recruiters. All 100% in-house recruitment. So what they did, they saved around 20 lakhs. So this is our 20 lakh saving. What is the total cost? And if you see what is the hiring we have done internally as employee referral, IJP, social media, and job portal. And if you see the ROI of the human resource team, it's around 13 days. This is how we have done the entire HR cost down process by in-house, another project called outsourcing of manpower to in-house, taking into the on-job trainee program. Now this particular program has given me 35.7 lakh rupees per month expenses down. That is called P&L achievement in terms of 35 lakhs. And total is around 3.37 lakh crores. So this is what we have launched the OJT model to achieve 100% cost down on service tax as well as service fee, what we used to pay to the agencies, to create sense of belongingness to OS employees by taking them on Tikona OJT, to reduce attrition rate. Sales 23% has come down to 2%, and non-sales from 7% to 1%. And the sales is feet on the street. Enhanced productivity of sales. OJT productivity is double than the OS productivity. And then zero non-compliances, because all the payment of PF, ESI, CPT has to be given by us. We are not dependent upon the agencies. And this is how the retention data analysis for OS to OJT model. On-roll attrition, 7% to 4%. This data on the bottom is very exciting. 70% of the people, or the employees, are having more than 2.8 years tenure in a 5-year-old company. That's how. So we work more as a part of an entrepreneur model. And this is our retention of a lean team members. So if you see average tenure of 3.8 years in a 5-year young organization of team of supply chain, procurement, administration, and human resource, and zero attrition in supply chain and procurement. In last 4.5 years, nobody has led supply chain and procurement because of those 117 projects. Because every time, every month, they learn something new. Administration also, there is a cost reduction happened. I'll just quickly see. This was the 4.5 times cost down what we have achieved against the annual operating program plan. Now procurement, this is how the entire cost down activities has been given. 30% on the OPEX expenses on the P&L. So if you see 21% of the cost down has been achieved on the company revenue level. This is how the total cost down target versus actual. And this is the last 3 years cost down achievement. So all those 117, I'm just trying to put, and all these, the soft skills or the activities what we have done on the behavior aspect. This is how the total achievement we had done. So if you see result analysis, just a summary. What we have done, image transformation of supply chain, HR and admin. Normally we call it as a support function. Now we are no more support function. Not a business plan gets approved until unless if I have not seen that. So that shows that we started sitting in the boardroom, debating on the business plan, on the sales target, and then defining the annual operating plan. So that's how the image transformation has happened. That's how the procurement, HR, and administration, all these functions, brand enhancement is happening. Unprecedented cost down in terms of absolute value. 20.38% weighted average of last 3 years against revenue. Strong contribution to P&L we have seen, pull model to achieve continuous flow, control of spend management. Spend management has gone from 10% to 90% of this entire team. And then high level of interdepartmental relationship, promoted cross-functional teamwork and reduced internal resistance to negligible level. Why? Because of those thought processes. Okay, so here are some few motivations. The first motivation we got from the company, supply chain team got within 6 months the best department award. HR function has got the acquisition team award. Also, we keep getting a lot of appreciation mails from the top management and the board members. We have gone to the India level. November 2012, we have gone and given the entire case study presented the case study to IIM Udaipur. Professor Janas Shah, who is now the director of IIM Udaipur, is having around 32 years of experience in only teaching supply chain and procurement. They did the entire analysis and they have given us a letter stating that not only in telecom sector, it's in the entire service sector what the continuous improvement. So that is more of a processes. What we have done is actually a very, very significant activities what we are doing. And they are putting up a case study which we want to put across along with the IIM Udaipur to put along some of the foreign universities. This is how Tikona Lean Supply Chain Model has achieved 2 awards, Supply Chain Operation Excellence in High-Tech Industry, Warehousing Excellence across all industries. And this is yesterday. I'm coming from Kolkata, HR Excellence Award. So we got the Innovation in Recruitment Award in Genius HR Excellence Award, which happened last night in Hotel Hyatt, Calcutta. But we haven't, stopped ourselves here. We have gone global also. ठीक है यार, इंडिया बहुत हो गया, थोड़ा बाहर भी होते हैं. So this award ceremony happened in London on 23rd of May 2013. If you see, there were around 68 countries, 700 global procurement leaders, big people. Only one from India, your friend. Around 17 categories has been, award was given, and we have been nominated. So if you see, only ACC, Ambuja Cement, and Tikona Digital Networks, in all the categories, only 2 Indian companies has been nominated. That award, if you want to see, you can go to procurement leaders. It's like an Oscar. Red carpet. That bow tie. मुझे लग रहा था मैं तो waiter बन के जा रहा हूँ. All those amazing kind of environment. I was feeling so happy. But when I checked at the reception that who all came from India, none. Only 2 companies. ACC, Ambuja Cement, nobody went for the, for participation over there. And if you see the excellence in procurement and supply chain, companies, Delphi, $70-80 billion. GSK, Goodyear, Novartis, Procter & Gamble, Siemens, Unilever, and all these are not Indian Unilever or Indian P&G. It's all there global. They gave their presentation like 50, 60, $70 billion kind of a buying. And I was just thinking, what they buy and what I buy. Such a huge. But of course, the nomination, of course, was a very great achievement. So who won the award? Unilever. And what I posted in my Facebook and LinkedIn next day. Failure is first step of success, and we just took that step. Congrats to Unilever to win Excellence Awards at Global Procurement Leadership 2013 and giving us another reason for another dream. So friends, finally, and hence, the journey continues. Because this journey doesn't have any destination. So we keep continuing. Thank you very much. I hope I haven't bored you too much and nobody started feeling like sleepy. Thank you. Thank you very much for inviting me and giving this pleasure. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your valuable insights on the topic. I am sure the audience has cherished the thoughts shared by you. I now request my colleagues to felicitate Sir with a memento as a token of our gratitude. Sir, would you please take your seat amongst the audience? SITM's annual management conclave